Did you notice how John started off his story of the Last Supper? His version, he said, having loved them to the end. Having loved them to the end. So when I was a kid growing up, this was sort of common in my era, the ancient era now. When I was a kid, and my mom got these labels, and it had my name on it, and it was like over and over, so you could just cut them, and then she would sew them into my clothes and other items that especially I might bring to school. And you're probably wondering, well, did I have a problem of losing my clothes? Was I walking around in my underwear at school and they had to find my clothes? No, that was not the problem. Because I had a brother who was a year younger. So this was a way, he had his own tag clothes. And so we knew what belonged to him and the clothes that belonged to me. We see in the first reading, Exodus 12. If there's a little bit of Bible to memorize, Exodus 12. I always tell our First Communion families, Exodus 12 is very important because this is the Passover story. And the Passover story is a story of God saying to his people, sacrifice the unblemished lamb, and then use the blood of that lamb to show where you belong, who you belong to. That the blood on the doorpost says that you're my people. You're my people, and I'm going to pass over you and claim you from the clutches of evil. And then you will walk and go forth from slavery into the promised land, the land of freedom, because you're my people. It's God taking a little label and putting it on his people. And it's this very supper, a perpetual institution that Jesus takes and raises it up a notch, if you will. Because now he is sharing the way that he will constantly be with us in his body and blood. And that we are marked each time we participate in the Eucharist by his body and especially his blood as his very own people. That we have been marked like with this special label, you are mine, and that I've redeemed you from all sin and death. I've saved you so that you can have this life of freedom, that it's a life in the resurrection. And as we participate in the blood of the unblemished Lamb, the very Son of God who was born without sin and yet sacrificed his life for us, Jesus gives us this access, and especially to know who we are in him. And then Jesus does something in John's gospel that's markedly different than the other gospels. Then he ties this into the washing of the feet. And one of the things that he's saying is that once you know who you are and who you're claimed by, and that you have an identity in the Lord Jesus who has marked you with his blood to save you, that you can walk forth, you can go forth, and now you can share that with others. That part of what Mass means, it's the same word as mission, to be sent forth. Jesus says, I want your feet to be ready to go take this beautiful sacrament, not just message, this reality of yourself that others may share in it. That others who are lost and don't know who they are and don't realize that God has claimed them for his own are a part of his body through his blood. Those who are getting ready to be baptized in 2 days and 1 hour from now, you're going to get claimed pretty soon. But we all need the Eucharist because we forget who we are. We forget whose we are. And this is why it's become for us a perpetual institution. So as we begin this Triduum this evening, and as we celebrate the gift of the Eucharist, let's give God thanks for this institution and that He loved us by shedding His blood to the end. And now we know He loves us without end.